Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to customize a scrapbook workshop. This particular workshop is Evergreen and it was from a few months ago and it actually just sold out a few days ago, but this video will give you an idea of how to use this if you've purchased it or if you have something that's similar. Okay, so the photos that I'm going to scrapbook are from a snowfall that we had a couple weeks ago, and it was a big one. We got 21 inches in our area of the Denver metro area. Okay, so I took some pictures and we were snowed in for a couple of days, and I want to document that. Okay, so I'm starting out by cutting the pattern papers at the dimensions according to the workshop. So we'll get those trimmed up and then we'll get started with our base pages. So I looked up all of the biggest snowfalls in the Denver metro area from several years back, and I have been here for all of them except for in 2021. We had to transfer to Tennessee for a bit and we were still out there, but we came back like just a couple months later. So I was here for the rest that are on the list. Okay, so I'm still trimming up the pattern paper according to the directions in the workshop, and it shows you what direction to place the pattern in the trimmer and what dimensions to cut. So we'll get that trimmed up and then we'll cut some photo mats. Now this is where I have altered my photo mats because I'm going to use two 4x6 photos rather than one 4x6. So I'm changing my mats to accommodate that second 4x6 photo. Okay. So this is what I was talking about with journaling. I printed it out on some Avery printer paper, and it's clear. Once it's sticker paper and it's clear, and I'll put a link below. So I typed everything out and printed it. So I'm trimming it so that I can fit it on one of the die cuts. Okay, so these are the exclusive base pages that are included in the kit, and I'm going to do some treatments to them, and the directions on how to do this are in the kit. So I'm going to use some oxide inks. The first one is Rustic Wilderness, and the other one is Speckled Egg. So I'm just using a blending brush, and my Rustic Wilderness is very juicy. I just inked it. So I'm blotting some off on some scratch paper before I take my brush to my project. Okay, so I'm just going to create a wash in the upper right and lower left corners of both pages. So I'm looking at the dimensions and how everything is to be laid out just to kind of get an idea of where these washes of color are supposed to be positioned. So I'm figuring out where my pattern paper is going to lay on that and then making my wash of color. And then I'll do the same thing for the right page. That's because once I get things laid out, I don't want to cover up too much of this inked area. And then I'm going to bring in the speckled egg, and I'm going to do a color wash over the Rustic Wilderness to kind of give it more of that blue-green look that's similar to the base page. Just not making the Rustic Wilderness not quite so intense in color. And with oxides, you can take a lighter color and put it over a darker color, and it will give an opaque look, and rather than blending and getting darker. Okay, so now I've got my splat box here, and I'm going to use some of this gloss spray. This is the white gloss spray. It's from Ranger, and I'm just tapping out. I've taken the nozzle out of the bottle. The directions in the workshop instruct you to spritz it on, but I prefer getting a splatter look. So I pulled the nozzle out of the bottle and I'm just tapping it around. So I'll do this for the second page, and then off camera, I'll hit it with my heat tool to dry things up quickly. Okay, so now I've got my pattern papers and pictures laid out according to the dimensions on the pattern in the workshop instructions. And rather than doing exactly what it says as far as where to place things, I've shifted the entire block down so that I can accommodate a different title. Okay, so I have cut all of these letters out using the outline alphabet. I've cut them in acorn, and then the outline is in pine. And then I've added 2 layers of white underneath the solid acorn letters to give it a little dimension and pop. I'm going to spell out the title Snowmageddon. This is what the news channels were referring to this couple of day event as. And the city kind of shut down for a day. And then the big melt was on the next day. So Snowmageddon 2024. At least this time we were lucky we did not lose power. I remember one of these giant snowstorms when I was a kid. One was on Christmas Eve and we lost power. And so my dad had to cook the turkey out on the barbecue grill. We had a Weber grill in the backyard. So he shoveled snow and went out there and made the turkey. And we didn't get power until like the next day. So, and then it happened again right around Thanksgiving the next year. So anyway, some big memories with giant snowfalls living in Colorado. Okay, so this is that sticker that I made that listed all the snowfalls. And I'm placing my pictures a little bit differently because that one on the right is 4x6 rather than 3x4. And then I do, on the left page, I do shift the picture that has my dog in the backyard. I swap those around again. I might have done that off camera. So now the workshop comes with a bunch of die cuts, and on the back of the die cut, it indicates which layout each die cut goes to. So there's no guesswork. You just pop them all out, and this is for layout 1. And so there's a bunch of them. And I'm just going to lay them out according to the pictures on the workshop instructions. And I do make a couple of alterations. But so far, this is what I've got, and it's the same as the picture. And then the kit also comes with some paperboard die cuts. And some of these are pine needles or evergreen sprigs, and they're really delicate, but they're so easy to pop out and they look super cool. So we've got a few of those. Let's put those. I'm still following the photos in the workshop. Haven't glued my pictures or these die cuts down yet because I kind of want to play with them first. And we'll go ahead and add these tags in, or dovetailed pieces, and these doilies. I'll get all those kind of placed just so I can get a feel for where everything is and shift things around before I start committing to gluing things down. Okay, so now I'm just working with the die cuts at this point. There are stickers, but that's to come. So we'll get these die cuts laid out. And then because my title is across the top of my page, I'm going to make a change. And then my journaling took up most of this journal block here, so I'm not going to add that tag. We'll save that and use that on a different project. And instead of putting remember on the left page, I'm going to switch it to the right page. Okay, so I like to trim my stickers from the carrier sheet, because then I don't have to worry about them sticking down anywhere quite yet. And I can move things around and change my mind, and I won't make a sticky mess. Okay, so some of these are layered, and I'm just pulling those dots and stars and layering those up. And then some I'm going to stick direct to the layout, like this one. And then some I'm going to pop. So I'm using this anti-static brush that's from Rabbit Hole Designs. And you could also use the anti-static powder pouch, and it basically just, it contains cornstarch, and it will take the sticky away from your stickers. So I don't want to get cornstarch all over my layout here, so I'm tapping it kind of away from it. But it's not very messy, so you'll see me do it more over my layout later on. And then I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of my sticker so that I can pop it. So I'll add this one, and it's evergreen sprigs that are laid out to look like a snowflake. And then we'll add this other one. Okay, so I'm still kind of following the design that's in the photograph, that's in the workshop. But I'll still make a couple of tweaks. So I'll add this snowflake, and I believe I pulled a smaller one for that little cluster. And then these word strips that says Winter Wonderland. And then we can start working on the bottom corner. So because I have acorn along the top, I kind of want to make a visual triangle. So I have die cut a whole bunch of these pine cones. These are from the Evergreen Card Making Workshop. And in that workshop, you get a stamp set and some dies. And the dies in this set are a layered pine cone along with some pine sprigs. So I've die cut those in acorn, mocha, and pine. So I'm going to add a pine cone to that cluster at the bottom left. And then I'll add some more pine cones later on. So I'm going to start working on the right page and adding my stickers. And again, I'm just layering them in. And then I'm going to add a pine cone and a couple sprigs to that cluster as well. So I've eliminated one of these star snowflakes, and I'm just using a smaller one there. So we'll get those added with some foam tape, and some is direct. Some of the snowflakes are direct, and some are with some wet glue. Okay, and then we'll work on, after we get this pine cone in, we'll work on the upper right side. Kind of fuss with those for a bit to see how I want them to be. Get those down, and then we can work on that upper right section. So again, I'm layering in these stickers. And then I'll glue down those pine needles. And then we'll pop the star. Just a little glue so it can still have a little dimension. And then we'll add that star. And then something that's not part of the kit, but because I always have to add a little something extra. Well, first I'm going to add an arrow. This is from the Wood Grain Arrows collection. It's retired, but I just pulled a small arrow so that I can draw attention to the date of this snowstorm. It was March 14th. And so I've added that. And then because I like to add a little extra sparkle to everything, I'm going to bring in some of these clear gems, the clear sparkles, and we'll scatter a bunch of those around. And then, because I wanted to continue with my visual triangle, I decided I needed another pine cone up in that upper right corner. So go ahead and add that. So I think we have a good balance of the acorn colors. Snow pictures are a little tricky to work with because of all the white, but I think we have it balanced out with the added colors of green and acorn and the other various colors in the collection. So here's some close-up shots here. Pull it closer to the camera, and then I'll have some still shots. So if you haven't subscribed yet, if you'll hit that subscribe button, you'll be able to find all of my videos. I'd really appreciate a subscribe. And here are some close-up shots. I will make a list of products that are still available. Well, I'll make a list of all the products that I use, and I'll put links to the ones that you can still get your hands on. Things are becoming a little scarce with the closing of Close to My Heart, but we've got some good things to come with Stampin' Up! So don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.